Sup flappers, Eula is out, and while everyone has been going nuts over how much damage she can do, we have to be conscious that it still takes 4 units to make a team. While our new Cryo Queen can certainly smack some cheeks just by herself, she does also have units which work very well with her. So in this video we will visit 5 of the best teams that you can currently run Eula in. Now I did my best not to include pay to win units, but when there are better 5-star units that are interchangeable, I can and will mention them as we get to them. Okay, with all that said, remember to like, subscribe if this video does end up helping you, and let's get right into the first team. So first up, we have arguably the most balanced and free-to-play team available on the list. Eula main DPS, Fischl support DPS, Diona healer, and Xinyan in the support role. So with this team, Fischl is here to provide super conduct and off-field damage support. Diona provides cryo resonance, and Xinyan is used here for first passive. Do know that Xinyan has to be built to perfection nearly, and running defense in order for her shield to stay up throughout Eula's DPS cycles. This is definitely not a team where Xinyan can be thrown in half-baked and expected to perform well. Of course, if you have Zhongli, he is a superior version to Xinyan and will fill this position perfectly. On screen, I will showcase some footage of this team, but the principle is still going to be similar, regardless whether you're using Zhongli or Xinyan. The one big issue with this team is that we have 2 shielders, but as you will see going forward, that this is just something you as a player has to play around for certain Eula teams. And I'll just let the clip play out before we move on to the next team. Now moving into the second team, we have Eula main DPS, Beidou support DPS, Diona healer, and Zhongli support. And just like I mentioned previously, now we have a triple shield squad. Granted, Beidou's shield has a very long downtime, so it will rarely be inefficiently stacked. So cycling through Diona and Zhongli's shield will be tricky, but for what you get from their shields, I'd gladly sacrifice some efficiency. So Diona's shields give the shielded unit plus 10% movement speed and minus 10% stamina consumption. Zhongli's shield amplifies damage. Overall, a good utility shield pairing. Of course, we still have super conduct in this team, and both Eula and Beidou can benefit greatly from it. On screen again will be the footage of this team in action. Onto the third team. This one may be a bit more controversial and to some not attainable, as it's the most whale focused team on this list. So we have Eula main DPS, Zhongli support DPS, Jean in the healer position, and Fischl support. So one big condition for this team is that Jean has to be at Constellation 2, and if we look at what it does, it buffs all party members' movement speed and attack speed by 15% whenever Jean picks up an elemental or particle. So with both Eula and Zhongli built for physical damage, this team, and both being already fairly fast attackers, it's essentially a hyper-charged team of physical damage carries. Of course, with Fischl support to offer super conduct for both of the physical carries, and Zhongli still offering Jade Shield for that offense-defense hybrid playstyle. Jean also, of course, fulfills the healer role and can dish out some serious physical DPS of her own if needed. So this was a team one of my viewers talked to me about. In fact, he was the one who used this team to hit the 915k damage showcase in my Eula guide video released yesterday. Jean's attack speed buff does help out greatly here in helping Eula stack her burst skill, but as I mentioned, you do require Constellation 2 on Jean. Of course, everyone watching likely has Jean pay them unwanted visits more times than they'd like to admit, so maybe it's time to slap the dust off that Jean, which has been sitting in the warehouse, and give her a shot at glory. On screen again is going to be a showcase of this team. Moving on to the next team is what I like to call budget on budget. This is really for people who just started the game in patch 1.5, so the recommended units here are Eula main DPS, Xinyan support DPS, Diona healer, and Lisa support. So Eula and Jinyan are both on banner right now. Diona and Lisa are given out for free. So while this team does come together cheap, it does not mean you can cheap out on the resource investment. Eula being a hyper carry means she is going to need all the resources you can give her. Jinyan will need a good amount of resources before her shield can stay up through the duration of Eula's DPS cycles. Furthermore, it's incredibly useful if you can get Jinyan to C2 here because you will get a level 3 shield from her every time you use your burst skill. If you have been able to pick up a Bennett out of luck and got him to C1, you can replace Diona with a Bennett. So on screen you can see that even with my Lisa at level 1 and Diona and Jinyan severely under level, even with Eula at only level 80, I'm still able to clear Abyss 12-1 Chamber 1. So it's not impossible. Granted, this was the most difficult to pull off. However, cycling through your skills properly was a key to clearing this room, and the damage is always there because Eula currently just does so much damage. Finally, the last team we have is Eula, main DPS Keqing, support DPS Bennett healer, and Zhongli support. This team is a solid double threat team where both Eula and Keqing are solid physical DPS carries, or if you want to have Keqing be an electro carry, it also works perfectly fine. Bennett and Zhongli are here to add a truckload of damage to the team, and Keqing provides electro to give your team super conduct. On screen once again is going to be the showcase for this team. And that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and please comment below on what teams you are currently running for Eula or other meta teams you have for her. There are surely to be a lot of teams that I did not mention, and I'm looking forward to hearing about them from y'all. And for people who are looking for more team options, please direct yourself to the comments below. Anyways, until tomorrow's video, everybody, stay safe and peace.